Yo, 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 what's good? CTC Radio, the only radio station committed to the coast. CTC Radio, it's the Holy Lord Sanctus, God of the coast. Yo, not loving how this camera is. Let me know. Thank you for joining. My name is Lord Sanctus, your host, CTC Radio. We play 805 hip hop and R&B every Monday through Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 6-ish p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining. I appreciate y'all coming through. We got a lot to talk about today. 7 Records in the building. Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. Jay Riley in the chat. What's good? Thank you for joining if you wouldn't mind. The Card Photos is in the chat. Yeah, I see. It's like I see the dithering. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's been happening since yesterday. I told y'all we gonna get it together. I'm gonna switch cameras through the show, but I just didn't want to like fucking quit. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I see content that has way more views with way worse quality. So I'm just gonna keep going. Let's go. Black Truffle TV in the chat. What's good? Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. The Card Photo says, is that the one and only Jay Riley? It is. Jay Riley has blessed us with his presence in the chat, and you know we like to see it. So welcome everybody. We got a packed show tonight, so we're gonna get into it. First of all, I want to encourage everybody to tap the link in our Instagram bio. Go support our sponsors. That is how we keep the show going. Get yourself some merch. I'm wearing mine right now from our CTC apparel shop, which you can also access through the link in our bio. And yeah, that's enough of that. Shout out to the store. Shout out to Connect Cannabis. But yeah, so tonight we're talking about Cardi B and Offset is having an ugly public breakup, and I think I've been hearing the same take from a lot of hip hop outlets. Of course, leaning heavily to Offset's side. I'm gonna give my take. I would love to hear your take after we give you the facts, and then have to call out Dougboy from Wild 106. I feel like he be giving a lot of wild and whack ass takes, but this one just kind of pushed me over the top, knowing how he uses the local hip hop, but especially the local hip hop community to his nefarious ends, and then doesn't really give back to the community in that way, you know what I'm saying, unless it benefits him. So when I heard this take, it really kind of pushed me over the edge. His take on Beyonce versus Post Malone, I thought it was absolutely insane. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. If there's any requests that you want to hear, let me know. It's just $5 Cash App or Venmo. Our Cash App is Connect the Coast. I'm putting it on the screen right now. And our Venmo is Connect the Coast 2021. I'm also putting that on the screen right now. If there's anything you want to hear, let me know. Just send that $5 and include the name of the song and the artist you want me to play. But I will happily do it. I just also dropped the rules of how to get on CTC radio charts on our Instagram feed, so you can check that out. If you send in a request and the chat responds positively to your song, then we will make your song an 805 song you should know on Instagram. That's what qualifies you to get on the charts. From there, if your video gets more than 1,000 views, then you make it on the charts. So that's one way for you to get on the charts. It's completely up to the community in this chat. So that's how you can do that. And then of course, some more people from the 805 let us know what their wins are. You know what I'm saying? They hit us with their wins. So we're gonna go over some of those as well. And then we'll check out the Destructive and Rare Breed podcast and a clip from the Card Photos and Philly if we have time as well. So a lot to get to. I apologize. Actually, no, I'm not even going to apologize for coming on late, y'all. Life be life, and y'all know this. So it is what it is. Let's get into some music though. How about that? I don't like that the sound is going in and out. Let's start in Oxnard. This is OGT and D, and it's called Ice Cream Mint, CTC Radio.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host with Only the Good Smoke, Captain Doug. And you're tuned in to 93041 Radio for the brand new world premiere.
My first hit, it was Maui Wowie. Ever since then I've been cloudy, always stonty, always in the clouds. Remember when they used to doubt me? Now they always hearing about me. T don't never plan on slowing down. If I'm not at the crib, I'm working, hustling, trying to make some better at the stew, just knocking verses out. Ain't nobody as high as me, ain't nobody as dope as T. He one of a kind. They all love the style.
Got more cookies than a pastry chef. Hate on me when I'm up next. The way I'm texting hoes is how it goes. Seen things like I'm a vet. Death is everlasting. Put a heartbreaker on my casket. Smoking weed might be the mascot. Wait, should change, she take for granted. She need that lick just like Shelba. Hella reefer on an island. I'm more green than Iceland. Got more ice than anybody like me. I just hit the studio. Nobody be as clean as I be. Just to fuck some shit up, boy. And that's on the day.
Cannabis connoisseur, if it ain't Zaza, it's a nada. I rock ALF and ATP, I don't got no product. Treat the studio like NBA, call me Black Mamba. Ice cream mints in the raw paper, T don't got no guava. Chillin' with my partners, passing doobies like a
The devil is working extra hard today, y'all. I don't know what's going on. The internet is tripping. The camera is tripping. I might have to just log off and log back on, y'all. I don't know what the fuck is popping. Let me do that, y'all, because I don't, or let me see. Hold on. Hold on. This is so annoying, yo. I know the internet is big tripping right now, so we'll see. Dog Wilder's still the wildest review out of all times, yo. It's not the platform, it's the internet, and Oceano's not great. And at the end of the day, niggas ain't paying my bills with this shit, so I'm not gonna fucking waste my time trying to figure it out to make it look all pretty when niggas ain't sending in the bread like that. So I don't even care. Let's get to the tea. Let's get to the tea. First of all, let's talk about Cardi B and Offset. A lot of the takes going down with Cardi B and Offset. So for those that don't know, they have had a on and off, very tumultuous relationship for like years now. I think the first time Offset was caught cheating on Cardi B was like years ago. With some strippers she used to strip with, and she went in the club and she either did it herself or had her sister do it or someone else do it, but broke a bottle over some chick's head and got in a lot of trouble for that. And it's been tumultuous ever since. They've been on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. Mainly it's been Offset being accused of cheating on Cardi, but like a couple months ago, Offset came back. Offset came online and was like, yo, Cardi cheated on me, blah, 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 and tried to make a big deal about it. Now, when I heard about this, I was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, what do you expect? Yo, you've been cheating on her for years. Like, if she cheated on you, like, at this point, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? You've been cheating on her for years. So that's just my mentality. But, you know, come to find out, the world of hip. So yesterday, I left out a key part. Cardi B just had a baby. She was pregnant. She was doing the whole pregnancy run, the whole pregnancy, like, rollout, which is ridiculous to say. There is a pregnancy rollout, but she was doing her pregnancy rollout, the family thing. You saw pictures of her and Offset, but then she went live yesterday or the day before, and Offset came under her live, and he said, "You fucked with a baby inside, tell the truth." That saying on its own is crazy enough to just, that's crazy enough to be enough for me. You fucked with a baby inside is a wild statement. But then Cardi B came back on live and was like, yo, basically, like, she did the whole thing about how she's super solid. She would never fuck any of Offset's ops the way he's been fucking her ops. And she said that he's been taunting her about fucking her ops. And it's been a whole ugly situation. And so she got online and she was like, yo, I'm solid. I would never fuck any of your ops. I don't need to fuck any of your ops. I just need to fuck somebody who's better than you. And so the hip hop world, of course, has been commenting about this whole situation that they have absolutely nothing to do with. Excuse me. And mostly taking Offset's side from what I see. I see people taking Offset's side. And I just think that's really, really weird. Like, a lot of the takes I've seen, like from Flacco, from academics, and that side of the spectrum have been, Cardi B, the worst thing you can ever do to a man, he'll never forgive you, is fuck another man while you're pregnant with his child. It's just ridiculous that you did that. It's so disgusting. And I can't believe you did that. He'll never forgive you. And you're trash for that. They've never once said Offset is trash for cheating at all. In fact, they said, most of them said, Cardi, he's a famous rapper. You know he has bitches. You know that's what he's gonna do. Like, you knew it. Basically, you knew what you was getting into when you signed up for the marriage. That's basically what they said. The card photo says, yeah, that's bad. That's a bad take by my read. Still, both of them are trash humans. Key says they'll be back together in 3 months. In that part. And yeah, that's my take. Is kind of like, yo, Cardi B is a former sex worker. Again, I've stated many times on this show, I don't have any issues with sex work at all. Like, I don't judge sex workers, but I'm not gonna sit up here and like lie for sex workers. Like, we know the culture of sex work. You know, sex workers tend to be more liberal with the sex. So if you thought you was just gonna be out here cheating on one of the, I don't think she's one of the baddest strippers in the world, but she's like one of the baddest strippers in the world stats wise to ever come out of the strip club into the mainstream, and that she wasn't gonna get her get back, you're wild for that. Even if you're Offsets, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're Offset from Migos, you think Cardi B ain't finna go get her get back, bro? Like, I don't even want to hear the tears. I think it's ridiculous that this is even a conversation that is going down publicly. I think it's super weird that you know, this is the tea that we indulge in, but nevertheless, here we are. I didn't have a lot to talk about on the show today other than how I'm about to flame Dougboy. And so we got to start off with a light pack. But this is where we are in the state of the culture today. We're talking about Offset and Cardi B and their sexual activities with other people besides each other. This is the life we live. Cluster bees. Thanks for everything I sent you about cluster bees. I don't. You got to refresh my memory. Cardi and Offset, tada. 7 Record says he said he can't have the Corona bottle coochie. He said he can't have that Corona bottle coochie. No. Yeah, man. I feel like in hip hop in general, and my overall take of this is like, I feel like in the Bible, it's crazy that I'm going to the Bible because I usually don't. But in the Bible, there is a scripture that says, as you sow, so shall you reap, right? So what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back from the world. And I think regardless of where you stand spiritually or religiously, I think that's a wise quote. That's a wise text. And I think we're starting to see the results of what the music industry has sown in hip hop. I'm not going to say what hip hop has sown, because hip hop has a crazy large diaspora. It's crazy diverse. So I'm not going to say what hip hop has sown. What the music industry has sown into hip hop, meaning all of these executives who don't care about the culture, all of these non-black executives who don't care about black people or black culture, who don't care about the art of rap in general, who just see it as a money grab, who've sown all of these things into the culture. We're starting to reap those things. And it sucks because the people who put that into the culture, the people who put the publicists who put our Cardi B and Offset as a couple into the zeitgeist of the culture, they're not reaping it. We, the people who love the culture, are reaping it. They're sitting back counting their money, trying to figure out the next weirdo antic that they're gonna push on the culture. But we, as fans and lovers of the culture, are the ones that are reaping these horrible consequences of actions that we kind of had no control over, which really, really sucks for the culture. And comes back to what I said the other day, that the culture has been fully 110% commodified. It's about to swallow itself. And I think we're going to see a reset. We're going to see the culture go away for a little bit. And hopefully when it reemerges from its cocoon, from its hibernation, it's a little more fortified. It has a stronger foundation. It has a clear set of rules for who can and who can't participate. And we do better. You know what I'm saying? By that time, I will probably be closer to 60 when we see this happen. So you mark my words right now. But it's going to be an interesting journey. Hopefully we'll see a lot less Cardi B's and Offsets and a whole lot more, Doechis and I don't know who the male version of Doechii would be, but I guess La Russell, Doechis and La Russells. Yeah, I hope we see that change. I'm going to play a couple more songs to see if the internet has gotten any better. If it hasn't, then this might be a short stream. And then we'll talk about why I got to call Dougboy to the front of the classroom. Dougboy, you got to bring your ass to the front of the classroom, man, with these weird ass, wild ass takes. If there's anything you want to hear, let me know. It's just $5 Cash App or Venmo. I'd be happy to play your request. I'll put the Cash App and the Venmo up on the screen very shortly. The card production says, save me from these toxic egos tainting our collective unconsciousness. Bill Hicks. We going to court, man. We got to take though. We cannot have local people in the music industry with terrible takes like this that have control over our airwaves. Are you kidding me? That's insanity. We'll talk more about it after this. This is T Sway, Lil Bones. It's called Don't Forget, CTC Radio.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ideas coming for the 808. Coordinated, smooth moves all incorporated. it's never outdated. Will you have my back when it get complicated? Do the work, put your hours in. I've been fly ever since again. Okay. And don't forget, Lord, don't forget. I'm going hard, ain't no slowing. Put my mind to this shit. Mind my own business, swerving quick about my wits. Always take the shot, bout to crash out on a bitch. Slide up with the whip, roll the 5%, 10, cruising got me feeling lit. Look, took a step in the right direction. Only goal is to pursue my own progression. Leveling up, it became my obsession. I'ma make it mine, claim and hold possession. I said, hold up. I paid attention to the little things. Trying to overcome my old ways. I did the work, now we getting paid.
Yo, this shit is fucking crazy today. I don't know what is going on, y'all. I'm fucking irritated, yo. Like, I barely wanted to come on and stream, and the fact that it's doing this is bothering me so much. So, let me tell you this story. Let me tell you about Dougboy, and then I'm gonna get the fuck up off here because I'm gonna punch a hole in my computer or I'm gonna punch my camera, one or the other, and I'm annoyed. So, but I guess if I'm gonna cook somebody, it's good that I do it while I'm in an annoyed state, huh? Anyways, let's get to it. So I for those that don't know, for those that are not from the San Luis Obispo area, the only radio stations we have up here are 95.7 The Beat in Santa Maria, which has been a terrible radio station. Terrible radio station. I think they're doing better recently because the reason KPAT 95.7 The Beat in Santa Maria is a terrible radio station is because it's a hip hop station. It's the only hip hop station on the coast. And they, first of all, refuse to play local hip hop. They're not big enough to not play local hip hop, right? Like, so the way radio works is there's P1 stations, which are the biggest, P2 stations, which are medium markets like Oxnard, San Diego. No, San Diego would be a P1. Oxnard, Riverside, Palm Springs might be a P2, and then a P3. Palm Springs might be a P3. A P3 station is a small town. And we're P3. So Slow, Santa Maria, AG, towns of that size are P3 radio stations. But even though Santa Maria KPAT 95.7 The Beat is a P3 radio station, it reports to Media Base. So Media Base is how you track your songs that get played on the radio station, and then they report them to Billboard, and that's how other radio stations know, like, oh shit, this song is getting a lot of plays, maybe we'll play it too. Media Base is the one that tracks that. 95.7 is the only beat, or the only station around here that tracks to Media Base, where we're from, up north in Northern County. Then you go further north up to Slow, and you have Wild 106. Wild 106 is just as bad of a radio station. Nah, I wouldn't say just as bad. 95.7 is worse because, again, they're ran by people who don't care about hip hop, who've been very vocal about saying they don't care about hip hop in general. They're trying to change it to a pop station. They despise local musicians. Like, unless you're paying a huge bag advertising on the station, they want absolutely nothing to do with you. It doesn't have to be a huge bag, but you have to pay a bag to advertise on the station to get your music played, which is not how radio should work, especially a small station like that, which is ridiculous. And then there's just a whole bunch of behind the scenes drama over there too. And they don't treat their talent right. That's why one of the best radio DJs in our area, Sandy Danger, quit. She quit. because, you know, they don't treat their talent right. So that's Santa Maria's terrible radio station. I'm just trying to give you a lay of the land of why CTC radio exists, why these radio stations are terrible, why you should be supporting us instead of those radio stations. So fast forward to Slow. Go a little bit up north to Slow. We have Wild 106, who has Dougboy. Now, Dougboy is one of those people who pretend to care about the local community. I don't know what's worse, y'all. You let me know what's worse in the chat. Is it worse to just flat out say you don't care about the community and move accordingly? Or is it worse to act like you care about the community, but then do snake moves behind the scenes? My evidence that Dougboy doesn't care about the local community, let me tell you a little story. So he has a segment that he built off of this station. He actually told me this himself. So Dougboy used to watch CTC radio, and when he started to see that there were a lot of local talent on this station, he started a segment called Local Flavor Fridays, and he would take artists from CTC radio and put them on Wild 106. I thought that was cool. Of course, why would I have a problem with that, right? Like Black Truffle TV says it's worse to act like you're an advocate. And I tend to agree. I think that's a little more shady. So Dougboy, you know, reached out to me. He was like, yo, I love the show. I love what you're doing. Like, let's connect on Local Flavor Fridays. Let's figure out how to get more CTC radio artists on the radio station. And I was like, yo, that's fucking dope. Like, that's dope that somebody on the radio station of his own volition reached out, saw what we're doing here as indie artists, and tried to give us some love. So I was really excited about that. Black Truffle TV says there's a lot of shit that I don't like, but do respect to an extent because it's real nonetheless. And I get what you're saying about that. Like, yeah, like if you don't like me, let me know you don't like me, and that's cool. We can move accordingly. But if you pretend that you like me, then it's kind of hard for me to plot my course on how I'm gonna be around you, because I don't really know where you really stand. So I tend to agree with Black Truffle TV on that. So actually, there's witnesses for this. So me and Dougboy decide to meet up. We go to a brewery in Slow. I don't remember which one, but I thought it was just gonna be me and him for lunch, and we meet up, and it's him, myself, Ezra Henderson, and Madeline Allen. Madeline Allen is a singer from Santa Maria. Ezra Henderson is a singer from Slow. Both of them are very, very new in their musical careers, talented, but, you know, relatively new. Me, I'm way older than them, and I've been around a lot longer. I've done a lot more. So I have a little bit more knowledge about how radio works, a little bit more questions, shit like that. So we go to lunch. He gives us the whole rundown of like, yo, I fuck with your music. He tells them he fucks with their music. He's down to support their music, play them on Local Flavor Fridays. He's going crazy over Ezra, how dope Ezra is. And I understand that Ezra is dope. And Wild 106 is a pop leaning station. They're what we call, maybe right now they're probably a straight up pop station, but at the time they were more of a rhythmic station, and that means they play pop music and urban music. So they play more urban music, but they're a pop leaning station. And Ezra is more of a pop artist. So it makes sense that Dougboy went crazy over Ezra's music and wanted him to be on the radio. Madeline did more hip hop music, but she's white. And so, you know, when white people do hip hop music, it's always looked at as either genre, pop or hip hop. And so, you know, at the time I was just like, okay, cool. He's giving younger people a chance. I'm not tripping. He comes to me, and when it comes to me, he's like, yeah, let's dope. Like, let's do Local Flavor Fridays. Let's figure out how to get CTC radio involved. But what I think you should really do, the best way I could help, is if you buy a sponsorship package and you sponsor you sponsor CTC, you sponsor Local Flavor Fridays, and then CTC Radio and Connect the Coast will be a sponsor of Local Flavor Fridays, and we'll get you, followers. It'll get your followers up. It'll have your name out there. It'll do this. It'll do that. It'll be so great. And like, even if you don't sponsor, and he kept saying this, and you can ask Ezra because Ezra was there, and he kept saying this. Even if you don't sponsor, even if you don't spend any money, I rock with the movement. We're going to be cool no matter what. I'm going to support the movement no matter what. And like, we're going to be good. We're going to be cool, yo. Don't trip. It's all good. Like, I'm just here for the movement. I'm here for the hip hop. I'm a hip hop head. And that's what we're going to, that's like what this relationship is all about. Connect the Coast had just got a record deal at the time. And so, we had a little bit of cash, and I was like, yo, if I have to spend this money as part of our deal, as part of our record deal, like I had to spend the money on like marketing. And so I was like, why wouldn't I put the money into local, into a local initiative? And, it helps out other local artists, not just Connect the Coast. It's a no brainer. Let's do it. It was very expensive. I'm not going to say the numbers. It was very expensive. For multiple months. Now, the way our record deal worked is I was getting paid from another company. And then once I got that payment, I would pay Doughboy, because mind you, this was something I wasn't even expecting to do. It wasn't something I was asking about. It wasn't something I was looking to do. I just was like, fuck it. We have a record coming out. It makes sense. It helps the community. It's in line with what I'm trying to do with Connect the Coast. So fuck it. So I cut the check. Black Truffle TV says, I can respect if someone is real in front of me, even if I don't like what they have to say. That's me. I'm the same way. I agree with you. I heard what you were saying. We're here. I heard what you were saying. We're good. So I cut the check. The company that's paying me, they have some weird standards and practices, so they cut the checks a little late to me. But I'm very like communicative with Doughboy. Like, yo, they haven't cut me the check yet, so I know the check is due. I know the payment for the sponsorship was due at whatever time. I might be, 5-6 days late. And I was never more than like 5 or 6 days late, but like I would let him know. It's not like I would go ghost on him or anything. I would tell him like, yo, here's what's happening. As soon as I get the payment, I'm going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? And like, he would try to do things like, yo, my boss is tripping and this and this and that. And like, you don't want to make my boss angry. And I'm like, that's your boss, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't work there at the station. That's your boss. Like, me and you have an agreement. I'm sticking to the agreement. Yeah, I might be a little late, but I'm telling you what's happening. I'm not going to stiff you. I'm not that type of dude. I would never do that. Like, but don't hit me talking about I need to be scared of your boss because you're scared of your boss. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't work there. You work there. So I end up paying for the sponsorship, and the deal was, this was supposed to be the deal. The deal was supposed to be, I pay for the sponsorship and I get to pick the songs for Local Flavor Friday from CTC Radio. I end up paying the asking price, but then he changes the deal. I only get to pick a couple of songs for the radio, a couple of songs, and they pick the rest. I didn't get to pick it all. I was upset about that, but I still was like, you know what? This is still good for the community, so fuck it. Like, I'm cool. We're moving on. Like, I try not to harbor shit. If it doesn't work out and it's not that big of a deal, I just move on, right? If it's a big deal to me, then I'm gonna make it a big deal. But at the time, it wasn't a big deal. We had the bread, you know what I'm saying? I had to spend it. It worked out. So he changes the deal. I don't get to pick the songs. Then it comes to the end of the sponsorship. And he did book us for a show. We did play. We didn't get paid, but we did get booked at the show. At Tequila and Tacos Fest. We got booked by Wild 106 and we got to play there. And it was cool. It was, it's a bigger stage than we're used to. It wasn't like super popping, but it wasn't whack. It was cool. You can scroll back on our feed and see what happened. But then shortly after that, we started getting more motion. We started getting more known. Connect the Coast started growing. And I started reaching out to Doughboy a little more like, hey, yo, this is what we have going on. How can we work together? And he hit me back like, yo, that's cool. Like, let's figure it out. Let's see how we can re-up the sponsorship. Mind you, this sponsorship was very, very expensive. Very expensive. I say, yo, Black Truffle TV, you nailed it. Yo, he was very used car salesman-ish, super used car salesman-ish. I say, look, I don't want to re-up the sponsorship. I paid you X amount of dollars. It was very expensive. I didn't get a lot of followers. We didn't get a lot of viewers. Sure, people heard our name on the radio, but like for the price, I'm not doing that again. I'm not paying that kind of money that we could easily like buy music videos. We can do so much more with that money than just giving it to you. So like let's still build. I didn't say it like that, but I said it professionally, but like, yo, let's still build. But I'm not doing the sponsorship. Oh yeah, cool, bro. Yeah. Like I'm all about the movement. I told you it's not about the money. It's about the movement, bro. I'm about the movement. I'm a hip hop head myself. He starts getting into the old war stories of how much he loves hip hop and how he was the first to break this hip hop record and play this hip hop record in the 805 and do this and do that, and how he manages Vanessa Lene, who is a rapper out of Simi Valley, and how he does X, Y, and Z and loves hip hop, and we're gonna be good. I call him, he stops picking up the phone. Like straight up just stops picking up the phone, stops hitting me back, just stops, right? Just no response. As soon as I say I don't want to re-up the sponsorship, stops hitting me back. So then it gets to a point where I hit him and he hits me and he's like, yo, bro, I'm super busy. I don't have time to do this. Mind you, I know what he does for a living. You go to the radio station, you go home, you chill with your family. That's what you do. You don't have no idea what I do, and I don't even tell you. I don't tell people. Like, I might tell people I'm busy, but I never like run down everything I have to do and try to make it sound like I'm the busiest person in the world. I just say I'm busy. I'll hit you when I can hit you back, but I'm not going to try to make you feel sorry for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just busy. Like we all are. We all have our lives going on. He tries to give me this rundown about how like what he has going on is basically more important than anything else in the world, and I couldn't possibly understand, and this and this and that. And I told him straight up, like, look, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You said you were about the movement. You said you were down to link regardless of if I paid you or not. And I paid you, and I paid you a lot of money. And now I'm still trying to build. And anyone who knows me, even if I'm trying to build with you and there's not money involved, there's definitely going to be something beneficial for you on the other side of it. Even if it's not monetary, there's going to be, I don't just pick up the phone and ask people to do things for no reason. I don't do that. Like, I don't really ask for favors like that. I don't really like, if I ask you to do something, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be mutually beneficial. Even if it's not instantly, there will be some sort of benefit for you and for me. And I feel like he knows that about me. And I even said that to him when we first met. And but yeah, he does the whole runaround. So I just called him out. I was like, yo, I don't like this shit. I do not fuck with people that act like that. Like, you said you would do something. Now you're acting like you didn't do it. And then so he started trying to act like I was attacking him or talking shit to him or like trying to be aggressive or trying to get violent with him. And everybody who knows me knows I would never do those things. And he's going around town telling people I'm hard to work with because he is a liar. You feel what I'm saying? Like, which is crazy. Like, all I did was call him out on his lies in a non-aggressive way. And then he starts going around and telling everybody that I'm hard to work with. I'm difficult to work with. So I just let that relationship go. I washed my hands of it. And I see him, carry on with the Local Flavor Friday. And he really starts to lean into pretty much just the white artists on CTC radio, or just the artists that like he'll throw a Nico Cochise in there every once in a while. But just the white artists, which is, again, I don't think it's a racial thing per se. I do think it's more so like Wild 106 is a pop station. A lot of these artists are more pop, whatever, right? But the way that he told me all of these hip hop war stories, that he loves hip hop and that he's doing it for the culture and he's doing it for authentic reasons, just made me look at him kind of side-eyed, right? And so fast forward to today. Today I'm minding my business. I'm scrolling on threads. Let me see. I feel like I took a screenshot of this, so let me try to find it. I'm minding my business. I'm scrolling on threads. Oh, come on, man. Don't do this to me, man. And where is that shit? Okay, here it is. So I'm minding my business. I'm scrolling on threads. I see a post from somebody I don't even know, and I see Dougboy under the post. Card Production says this car is a bit of a fixer upper. The car is on fire. Factual. Me starts checking boxed on skeezy behavior checklist. Black Truffle TV says, yeah, he playing. It's a pay to play game. Then just say that. And that's my part. Like, yeah, if it's pay to play, then just come out and say that. Don't try to do the whole we're homies and I'm one of you type thing. I don't like that shit. That shit is corny as fuck. 7 Records said, but they suck. Never mind. Don't mind me. Yo, I'm not even here to judge the other artists or talk about. It's not about the other artists. This is strictly about Dougboy. I'm just trying to give you my whole perspective and as much context as I can to the situation. So I'm scrolling on threads and I see a post from somebody named Mind of the Music Geek. And I wish I could post this, but I don't know how to share pictures and my internet is tripping, so I'm just gonna read it. So Mind of the Geek posts, so y'all want to explain why you country music fans didn't have the same energy for Post Malone making country music? Why y'all country music fans didn't have the same energy for Post Malone making country music? Don't all speak up at once, right? And I think that's a fair point. I think that's a very fair post. You know what I'm saying? Because for those who have not been following what's going on, Beyonce dropped a country music earlier this year. It broke all kinds of records, went #1, completely like increased eyeballs on the genre of country music. It wouldn't be hyperbolic to say that that country music success right now in this time, like the Shabuzis of the world, can be attributed to Beyonce's pivot to country music. But Country Music Awards snubbed her, didn't give her any nominations, and there were tons of country music radio stations that wouldn't play her song, or play any songs from her album. I wouldn't say tons, but there were country stations that wouldn't play her album because they said she's not real country, or she's not country enough, or it's not actually country music. They wouldn't say why it's not country music. They just said she's not country. We know why they said it's not country, obviously because she's not white and she's singing country, but they wouldn't say that because they can't say that. But they made every excuse in the book, and we saw this before Beyonce when Lil Nas X Old Town Road popped off. That's a straight up country song. Country radio would not play it until he added a white man to the song, Billy Ray Cyrus. When he put Billy Ray Cyrus on the remix, then they couldn't deny him. They let him in, and it topped the Hot 100 and topped the country charts. So we know how country gets down. We know their behavior. We know how they like to throw rocks and hide their hands. We know all this, right? So, and then Post Malone. And so the reason there's this post about Post Malone is because Post Malone recently made a full transition away from black music. Well, country music is black music, but he made a full transition away from contemporary black music to country music. And everybody is praising this transition. Everybody's saying it's the greatest music Post Malone has ever made. Mind you, all he has done for the last 5 years is steal swag from hip hop and talk shit about hip hop at the same time. Now he's over there doing country. He's made the full villain arc to a country artist, and everybody's singing his praises. There are no country stations saying he's not real country. There are no country stations saying, he doesn't understand our culture. It's just immediate acceptance, immediate praise, immediate accolades. Definitely not the same energy between Beyonce and Post Malone. So Dougboy responds, and this post, mind you, has 728 likes and 566 comments, 34 reposts, and Dougboy is one of those comments. And Dougboy says, It's because Post Malone originally started as a country artist. Stop the goddamn cap, Doughboy. Stop the cap, my nigga. Because Post Malone started as a country artist. If you don't get the fuck up out of here right now, I don't even know how you're on the air. If you truly believe this, I don't know how you have any right telling people what to listen to and playing music if you truly believe this. If you truly believe this, because name Post, I can tell you what Post Malone's first single is. Can the chat tell me what? There we go. White Iverson. White Iverson. Not Allen Iverson. Not AI. Not The Question. White. Hard H. Iverson. That's Post Malone's first single. And if you don't know, look it up. Look it up. But I'll break it down for you. Post Malone comes out with dusty ass cornrow braids. Full slugs. Mouth full of gold slugs. Rapping about how he's White Iverson. And how he's been balling since he was young. With his one black friend, dabbing. That is Post Malone's first single. So on your first sentence, on your very first sentence, you lying, which I shouldn't be shocked by because you lie. But I digress. And we're going to go beyond the hour for this. We're going to go beyond because I want to read this full statement. That's going to take us beyond the hour. Fuck it. So he says, because Post Malone originally started as a country artist and Beyonce's album wasn't a country album at all. Beyonce's album wasn't a country album at all. Despite the fact that she's calling herself Cowboy Carter, it wasn't a country album at all. Pray tell, Doughboy, why does Beyonce's album not qualify as a country album when Post Malone's does? What is the difference between Beyonce and Post Malone, Doughboy? You tell me, why is Beyonce's album not a real country album, but Post Malone's album is a real country album? Doughboy, explain this to me. I need detailed explanations as to why. Because I can only think of one reason you would say that. And let me continue to read. Let me continue to read. Oh, Doughboy is white. Doughboy is I figured you could have guessed this, but he's white. Just for the people in the back who didn't know, Doughboy is a white man. He said, the card production says, we need to put together some sound effects that Sanctus can use for moments like this. Uno could be yelling absolute dog water. Oh, I could tell you what they gonna be saying after this. I could tell you exactly what Doughboy gonna be saying after this if he sees it.
He doesn't like the Sanctus.
But it is what it is. I'm gonna just tell him, let that coochie breathe, my guy.
She doesn't like the Sanctus.
This shit irritates me so much. Let me keep reading. So he says Beyonce's album wasn't even a country album at all. She did a dance album and a country album because she wants chart spots and plaques from different genres. Doughboy, how does Post Malone differ from this at all? How do you go from White Iverson to G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon? How do you go from that to straight up country music? Right? And let's say you're right, Doughboy. Let's say you're right. Let's say you are right, Doughboy. Where's this same energy for the white people for the non-hip hop, let's take race out of it, actually. Let's take race all the way out of it. Where's this same energy for non-hip hop artists who come into hip hop and do this bullshit? I've never once seen you jump out the window and say this non-traditional hip hop person is not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Or let's stay on your premise. You know who I've never heard you say is not really in the genre that they're in? Is Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, when I first saw Ed Sheeran, he was a rapper rapping with Yellow Wolf. Look it up. Look it up. I didn't know pop singer Ed Sheeran. I knew pasty white rapper Ed Sheeran who used to do songs with Yellow Wolf. That's how I heard of Ed. I didn't know Ed Sheeran could sing for the longest time, because I only knew Ed Sheeran from doing hip hop. And then he abandons hip hop, becomes a mega pop icon. I don't hear you saying he's not a real pop singer. I don't hear you saying he's not a real folk singer. What about Justin Bieber? Abandons black music, abandons R&B, goes straight to pop, even though he's doing Afro beats, which is a whole different conversation that I hate, that we need to have, because I hate that shit. But he abandons R&B, goes to pop. I never heard you once say Justin Bieber isn't a real pop artist because he started in a different genre and just wants to get plaques from different genres. You know who else did that? Miley Cyrus did that. Miley Cyrus did that. I never once heard you say Miley Cyrus isn't a real country artist because she started off twerking her long ass back and now is doing country music. I've never once heard you say that. So explain to me why those three artists I just named don't get the same energy from you that Beyonce is getting. Please explain to me. I'll let the chat, if you understand it, let me know, because I don't understand it. I don't know. And he's the musical expert in the 805. He is on the radio station telling you what music is good, what music is bad, why music is good, why music is bad. Yo, and he going crazy in the chat. 7 Records going crazy. Another one, Katy Perry. Never heard you talk shit about Katy Perry. Another one, Christina Aguilera. Never heard you talk shit about Christina Aguilera. Another one, Mariah Carey's black, so that one don't count. Mariah Carey is black. But I've never heard you talk about those artists. You feel what I'm saying? And we can't keep going. You know who I've never heard you talk about? You know who I've never heard you talk about? Who's the worst one at this? Pink. Never heard you say one word about Pink. And Pink was a straight, look up Pink's first artist. Look up Pink's first album. Her best album, by the way. Her absolute best album, produced by Darkchild, one of the greatest producers in the world, is a straight up R&B album. Pink's first album, Pink was supposed to be the white competition for Aaliyah. And her first album is in that lane. And then she completely abandoned R&B. She's on interviews saying she never wanted to do R&B. She only ever wanted to do rock. So she was faking the funk the whole time. She's admitted that herself. But guess what? I've never once heard you say that Pink, Alicia Moore, Pink, wasn't a real rock artist because she just wants plaques and she's just doing a song in different genres to get plaques. Why, Dougboy? Why have you never said these things about these artists that I'm naming? And what's the difference between these artists that I'm naming and Beyonce? Pray tell. Please explain it to me. Card Photo says, I find the whole argument of X is not a real Y by people who don't actually do the art form they are talking about. And that to me is the biggest offense. It's exhausting. Why not let the artist define themselves? That to me is the biggest offense. Like, you could have said, as a non-artist, as somebody who does not make music at all, you could have just said nothing. You could have said nothing. But for you to jump out the window and put your implicit biases on display in this manner is disgusting. It's disgusting. And for you to try to justify, I mean, at worst, it's just ignorance of the musical landscape. And if you're that ignorant of the musical landscape, you shouldn't be commenting on it. And I mean, at best, it's ignorance of the musical landscape. At the very best, it's just ignorance. At the very worst, it's the hard R. It's the hard R. I'm not even gonna say it on. It's the hard R, and you're seeing things through the lens of WS. You feel what I'm saying? That part. Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake. Never heard you say shit about Kid Rock, and Kid Rock is an on the record racist, full on, straight up racist. Never heard you say shit about Kid Rock. Justin Timberlake, very questionable. Never heard you say shit about him. Aaron Carter, God rest the dead. I mean, no one really talks about Aaron Carter other than RIP. So I'm not going to blame Dougboy for that one. But the list goes on and on and on. We see. So let me continue to read this. He says, she did a dance album and a country album because she wants chart spots and plaques from different genres. Not because she cares about the music. Not because she Beyonce doesn't care about the music. Beyonce doesn't care about the music. She only cares about the plaques and the charts. Let's say that is true. How does that make the genre? How does that not make her album country? Because are you telling me that there are country music artists who don't care about the genre? Who don't? Are you telling me that there are not country music artists who don't care about the genre? Every single country music artist is a purist and doesn't care about chart positions and doesn't care about accolades and rewards and money. Only Beyonce is like that. And why do you not have that same energy for country music artists who use T-Pain to write their songs and make their beats and have 808s and the crazy hi-hats on their drums? Why do you not have that same energy for them? Why is it not the same in reverse? Why do you not say that, that I don't know no country artist, so I can't even pretend to name one. But why can't you say fucking Shania Twain doesn't care about country when she uses 808s and hi-hats on her song because she's using shit from other genres? Why is that in it? Why is that not the same? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Oh yeah, no, he's fully psychic, fully ESP activated, leveled up. He knows exactly what's on Beyonce's mind. He knows her intentions. He's God. He knows her heart. He's music God. He knows her heart. He says every other artist does it for charity, sir. That's called the music charity, not the music business, right? Like the bias is just glaring. It's glaring and it's I hate when people in positions of power try to act like they don't have a bias when they're laying their biases out for all of us to see. So then he says, let's talk about Shabuzi getting nominated. Let's talk about Shabuzi getting nominated. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Shabuzi is getting nominated? I can give you two reasons why Shabuzi is getting nominated. One, Cowboy Carter. Yes, Beyonce is part of the reason why Shabuzi is winning right now. Two, because he took a rap song that was already a hit and sang it again. I don't when you re-sing a song that's a hit, it doesn't matter the genre, it's still a fucking hit. I can give you an example that happened in reverse. It's called I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton, re-sang in R&B fashion by Whitney Houston. That song was just as successful as an R&B song as it was as a country song. It works in reverse. It works both ways. It's a hit song. And Shabuzi singing Jaquan in a country accent, to me, means that Shabuzi is probably not all about the country music, y'all. I don't know this man. I've never seen a Shabuzi interview. I don't even know what Shabuzi looks like. I have no idea what he looks like as a human being. I've never seen him. I know he's black. But I would gather that he probably is the same kind of opportunist that you're pegging Beyonce to be. He's probably the same kind of opportunist that you're pegging Beyonce to be. We're almost done. We're almost to the end of this. He says, let's talk about Darius Rucker getting nominated. Let's talk about Mickey Guyton. I don't know who Darius, I know who Darius Rucker is, but like Darius Rucker deserves to be nominated, yo. He's in one of the greatest bands of all fucking time, yo. And I've heard Darius Rucker speak to great degree about the racism in country music. So I don't get it. I don't know who Mickey Guyton is. I know who Charlie Pride is. I know who Aaron Neville is. I know who Ray Charles is. But he says, let's talk about Darius Rucker getting nominated. Let's talk about Mickey Guyton being nominated. Let's talk about Charlie Pride being nominated. Let's talk about Aaron Neville being nominated. Let's talk about Ray Charles being nominated. Then he says, stop talking when you don't know what you're talking about. Those are his final words. Stop talking unless you don't know what you're talking about. So I am going to tell you, Doughboy, to take your own goddamn advice. Stop talking when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because I can tell you why Darius Rucker and why Aaron Neville and why Charlie Pride got those nominations. You want to know why? Because they're safe blacks. Because they make white people feel comfortable. Shabuzi has to get the nomination because he's been number one on the charts for 20 weeks in a row. He also makes white people feel comfortable. I'm sure of it, because they wouldn't play him they wouldn't nominate him if Beyonce makes white people feel uncomfortable. And you are displaying this full frontal for the world to see. You're showing us how uncomfortable Beyonce makes you. Because why would Beyonce's album not qualify? Why would Country Carter not qualify as a true country music album? But Shabuzi? Everybody in the club getting tipsy does? Like, yo, if you don't knock it off, bro, I feel like you need to hang up your headphones, hang up the mic, hang it up, bro. If this is what you think, if this is your extent of knowledge of music, hang it up, turn off Wild 106, turn on CTC Radio, come get this news, come get this good music, local music. We actually care about the local, we care about the people here on the coast. We not just going to try and let other people come in and take over our community. Hang it up. Turn off Wild 106, turn on CTC Radio. Black Truffle TV says, yup, I was just about to say that, Tipsy. Yeah, I mean, a hit song is a hit song is a hit song, no matter what. That's why Shabuzi is popping. It's because of Tipsy. It's not because he's country. Morgan uses 808s. There's way too many. You're talking about Morgan Wallace. Morgan Wallace. And I don't know who he is. The only thing I know about Morgan Wallace is he likes to use the N-word very, very freely. He likes to use the N-word very freely. And if he has 808s and the hi-hats on his beats, then then why is he not considered fake country music? I need answers. I need answers to these questions, Doughboy. I need answers to these questions. If he got a record with Dirk, why is he considered country music at all? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Like, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by this conversation. And Doughboy is super ridiculous and wrong. And I hope you guys tag Wild 106 in this. Let them know how I feel about this. Let them know how you feel about this in the comments. I think Dougboy owes Beyonce an apology for being a radio DJ, talking crazy like that, talking reckless and crazy like that as a radio DJ. Radio is the most petty industry alive. If you make one mistake, like I'm talking like terrestrial radio, we're an internet radio station. Terrestrial radio, like Wild 106, the where you have to dial to the station, is the most petty industry on the earth. If you are an artist and you offend somebody in radio, they will blacklist you forever and ever and ever and ever and never play your song again, just because you showed up late to lunch. Maybe somebody's wife thought you were cuter than them and gave you more attention than them. Maybe you didn't give them enough attention when you visited the radio station, and that made them feel weird and they misinterpreted how you behaved. It could be a whole host of things. But radio DJs and radio personalities are the most petty people. Not all of you, I'm not generalizing, but the industry, the radio industry is petty, petty, petty. If you make a mistake, they will blacklist you from the industry. That's why radio got so mad when Spotify started to, that's why radio industry got so mad when Spotify started to uh take market share, because now you don't need the radio to blow up. When you needed them, they acted like little hoes because they were the only outlet you had. Now they act like the victims, and that's why nobody wants to do interviews on radios. That's why celebrities don't do interviews on radio anymore, because the radio industry is petty, yo. They try to sabotage, blackball, and discredit your whole career over something that they don't like, that has nothing to do with the art, that has nothing to do with their job, nothing to do with the art. And it's ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say Beyonce is at the top of the music industry, and you, as somebody in terrestrial radio, rely on those relationships. I'm outside of the industry. I have my own thing moving. I don't need to be cool with the industry. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I don't need to be cool with you. I don't need to like you. You don't need to like me. I could tell you sound dumb, you sound ridiculous. You need to get it together. And guess what? I don't care if you never play another song of mine on the radio station. I don't need you like that. I'm building my own shit. But like, you saying shit like that as a radio personality about someone as big as Beyonce, with no data to back up what you're saying, that's danger. That's dangerous work, my guy. That's dangerous work, my guy. You should give her an apology. You should issue that apology right away. That's all I got to say about it, man. I woke up to his comment on Threads, and that shit just set me off. It just reminded me of our whole history together, and it just set me off, and it fully cemented what type of person he is in my mind. And it just, I don't like that. I don't like that kind of behavior. I don't like those kind of perspectives. Am I tripping though? I'm always down to say when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know if I'm tripping in the chat. Let me know if I'm tripping in the comments. I will be back tomorrow night, hopefully with a better internet connection and a better camera setup. I hope everybody has a good night, but I was on longer than an hour tonight, so there's that. I hope everybody has a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6. Please, if you like this stream at all, get yourself some merch. That is a great way to help support the stream. You can also tip us on Cash App or Venmo. Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. Or you can just give us, follows, likes, and shares. Those things help a lot. And oh no, did I get the pinwheel of death right at the end? Of course. Great way to cap off the show. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I hope everybody has a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.